All right, good morning, everyone. It is 8:44 on the morning of September 7th, 2021, and this is my strategy session. So first up today, I have MTCH. MTCH is joining the S&P 500, and it has caught a bid. It's been a while since I've looked at the, I don't know, there's something like the curse of the S&P 500 or something like that, where a company will be a part of the S&P 500 and it'll sell off 30% over the next 12 months or something like that. I don't remember that. I haven't done any statistical analysis on that, and I don't know if I'm remembering that correctly or not anyway, but today it has a catalyst, and I have Fibonacci, and actually I don't remember looking at Match.com before, but I have this level at 148.70 from whenever I put this thing on. I don't remember. Take a look at the daily. I mean, I really don't remember putting that level on, but 148.70 is kind of, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's acted as resistance, support and resistance at some point before. But yeah, there it is. So you can see here on Friday, it came up to 140, a high of 148.67, so 3 cents away, and closed, just below it, just below the 200. I don't really put much weight on the 200-day moving average. I only kind of use that to to kind of take a look at the trend, what the overall trend, long-term trend is, and it's moving up. I mean, it's it's in the correct direction. Well, so today I imagine that there will probably be some profit taking. I mean, there's a, let's see, pre-market move here, 9.29% pre-market move. And so, using Fibonacci's for retracements, for profit taking retracements. Where exactly it gets support, I don't know. The 61.8 is at 157 even, and the 50% is at 155.39. Now, and also I will be updating this Fibonacci, so it's liable to change. It will change. I mean, when it comes to the opening price, I'm going to move this this Fibonacci retracement graph here. I'm going to move it to its opening price, and so a pretty standard plan on trading Match today, and that is. If I get a pullback profit taking down to the between the 61.8 and the 50% fib, I'll have orders down there for an entry. I'll have orders down there for an entry. It could bounce off of I use 75% instead of whatever the 70-some% fib is. So there's possible, it could go below, and if it crosses back up above, the fib, then that'll be a buy. And then, of course, if it dips down below and crosses back above the open, then that'll be another entry. So, I'm looking for fib support, cross back above fib if it doesn't go all the way down to 61.8, and it crosses back up above my 75, or a dip down at the open and then a push back above the open. So there are going to be several ways to play this, I think. Okay, ABCL. Now, ABCL, this is just, this company has gotten increased call option activity. So it's caused the stock to catch a bid pre-market here. The likelihood that I trade this, I don't know. I've actually never traded news on increased call option activity. So I might, well, I'm just going to have to see what happens here. But, and again, this is another one that I don't recall having looked at before, really. But I've got this level at $18 and, oh, no, I'm sorry, I put that on this morning. $18.95 is the high. So it reported earnings back here on the 12th of August. And it came in, let's see, it was estimated to have had 8 cents per share profit, and it came in at negative 1 cent. So the surprise was a negative 9 cent surprise for 112% downside surprise, but you can see here buyers came in on that after that earnings report. I imagine there must have been other things in that earnings report that, I don't know, forward outlook, whatever. I really haven't done actually all that much research on it. Let's check out, is that August 12th or 13th real quick? Okay. Reports, Q2 loss per share of 1 cent. Revenue is 28 million versus 11 million estimates. So that's a big revenue boost. Q2 revenue estimate is at 71.5 million. Oh, okay. So they're Q2. Wait a second. Q2 revenue is 28 million versus 11 million. That must have been year over year. In Q2 estimate 71.5 million. I don't know if Q2 estimate 71.5 million was what was estimated and it only came in at 28 million, then that's a horrible miss. But something's going on here. This isn't very good. Let's see if we can get better. Reported after markets close on Tuesday, Q2 net loss per share, diluted share of 1 cent compared with earnings of 3 cents per share a year earlier. 4 analysts polled by Capital IQ project earnings per share of 8% on average. Revenue for the June quarter was 27.6 million, up from 11.2 million a year earlier. So that's year over year. 4 analysts surveyed by Capital IQ called for 71.5 million on average. But I don't know if that means average for the year, average. I don't know what that means. All right. I mean, it's going to take a lot more studying, and digging in to find out exactly what's going on here. However, it does seem bullish. I don't have a high degree of confidence in trading this one today. I don't have a good picture of what's going on. In fact, I don't, even though it's second on my list, and usually I list from most to least probable for trading for me. Today I just kind of left it where it was. It was going to be too much of a pain to move it. So Abcl, it's on watch. I have 18. I have an alarm on 1895, I believe. Yeah. So I have an alarm at 1895 on Abcl. That's $1 lower than where it is right now if it opened at this moment. And so we'll see what happens. That's the level that I'm looking at right now on Abcl to be really attractive. Of course, this thing, if it starts hitting the scanner and going nuts and breaking up over previous highs and stuff, then I'll get interested. I don't think it's a very old stock. Yeah, this thing IPO'd, looks like it IPO'd, let's see, less than a year ago. So it looks like it could be trying to bottom here. It could be getting some bottom formation here. But we'll just have to see what happens. I don't think chasing it today is going to be a good idea, but you never know. Next up, BILI. This is an interesting one. So this is the daily. Let me take the Fibonacci off of this one real quick. So I've traded this one quite a bit, and it was probably about 6 months or so that I traded this one, probably 4 or 5 times, and I did well on it. Well, this is an interesting one because on this gap, this day that it gapped right here between the 21st and the 24th, I put a Fibonacci there, and I just kind of left it there, Well, on, let's see, the 30th of August, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days after it gapped up, it came down and almost hit the gap perfectly. I have $70.14 as the top of the gap, or I actually should say the bottom of the gap. And here on the 30th, let's see, it opened at $70.20, hit a low of $70 even, and then has had a run up to this morning. It'll open at $91. I don't know what percentage run that is exactly, but it's significant. And so really very, very interesting action here. Let me see if I can zoom in on this a little bit more closely. I can't really get a much bigger picture here of it. Let's see if that'll. Well, anyway, so the 100% move is at $75.10, and then so the next day on the 31st of August, this thing opened at $76.27, hit a low of $75.11, so almost came all the way down to the 100%, and then just took off. So is it extended? I don't know. I mean, this thing has made some pretty nice moves in the past. Let me get rid of the Fibonacci so it's a little more clear. I still have another Fibonacci on this thing too. Actually, I just noticed there's another Fibonacci. I have, the last day I looked at it to trade it was back here on, let's see, July 8th or July 9th. I don't remember which day. I don't remember if I traded it on that day or not. But I caught a lot of really good trades on this thing. BILI, I don't remember why it hit my radar exactly, but BILI had this really big period of consolidation. And then on this day back here, on the, there it is right there. It was after earnings, so on the 19th of November, it blew through, just broke right through that resistance after that long period of consolidation. And I was like, wow, this thing's been consolidating now for what, from June to November, I mean, roughly 6 months. So that means it probably has another 6 months to the upside after this breakout. And so I held a small position and I traded around that small position several times. And it did well. It did really well. What's going on with it now? Well, you know, it's working on, you know, it had this kind of run up and it's kind of come down. Let's see, let's put a new line on this thing real quick. Right there. So yeah, it's doing something. Today, what the plan is today, and actually let me put this old Fibonacci. I don't know what that Fibonacci is. That's kind of a junky Fibonacci. We'll use this Fibonacci. That's more like it. All right, so yeah, this thing today, if it opened up right now, here's the 4.236 or 423% Fibonacci here. And I think it would be just below if it opened up right now. Let's look at it on the 10-minute. It's flirting with it. So actually it's just above. That Fibonacci level is at 91.15. So, you know, if it comes down to 88.11, I'll probably look for a purchase there. I don't know if it will or not, but it might just take off today. You know, and so I'll just have to see. It's on watch. Exactly what happens, I don't know. And there actually aren't a lot of ways to play this one today. This one it's either going to take off for the open and keep going, or it's going to pull back down and cross above its open. I think those are probably the only two ways to play it. One takes a leap of faith. It just means buying the open. And the other one means watching it dip down and cross back above the open. So I'm more prone to play the cross back above the open than I am to just buy the open. So we'll see how I do on this one today, if I do anything with it. Rnxt. Okay, so Rnxt. This one had an FDA approval for a cancer treatment device, and usually that's really, really big news. It's a really big deal, and that will cause a stock to go through the roof. And you can see here, it's kind of, let me open up the 10. I put a Fibonacci on this actually also. And the Fibonacci, I have the Fibonacci going from this high on the 30th of August at $16.74 down to the low of the same day at looks like $6.81. So yeah, exactly where this thing goes, I don't know. It's above the 50% right now. If it opened, it would open above the 50% of that move on the 30th of August. That's good. You know, a move over the 50% is a good move. Support there, you know, would mean probably a good chance of it hitting the 61.8. I'm really surprised that this thing just isn't going through the roof, kind of like IRNT is. IRNT's leaving behind its previous day's close. But let's look at IMPL. And I know this thing got a lot of people. I think it was on Friday. Yeah, IMPL. Now, this thing also had an FDA approval on Friday. Let's see, yeah. Impl Neuropharma's migraine drug Trudhesa approved by the FDA, shares jump. And usually, that's a big deal. Usually the FDA approval of a drug for whatever you have, really causes the stock to just go through the roof. But you can see here on Friday that pre-market, it ran up to a high of, I think it was 38 and change. Yeah, let's see right here. 38.70. And then it opened and it just tumbled all day. It just, I started putting levels on this thing. It was just before the bell opened. This thing, the news, I don't remember exactly what time it was that the news hit. Actually, it says here, 8:53. And so by the time that I got to this thing to start putting levels on it and stuff like that, it was really close to the open and I had other things to watch. I really expected this thing to go bananas. And I know a lot of other people did too. There are a couple of people that I keep an eye on online and a couple of other people that I speak to or text back and forth on occasion. And those guys lost big time on this thing. I was fortunate that I missed what I was looking at right here was a cross back above this level at $26.60. Because I missed it, and I'm glad I missed it. I'm glad that I didn't take any trades on this thing because I would have been expecting for this right here. Let me kind of get rid of all these things in the way it's a little bit messy. At this point right here, I would have expected this thing to make a bottom and then start running for the open and really making a big run. And it didn't do that. I know I probably, if I had actually taken that entry, been paying attention to it, and when I did this actually, when this thing made its move right here, I think I was doing my wrap up, my recap, and so I missed it. But it didn't make a good move at all, and you can see actually it just kind of floundered for a little bit and then died off. So FDA approval is usually this really great thing, right? Well, we'll see. Rnxt has this FDA approval. Renovo RX gets FDA clearance for Renovo Cath delivery system to treat solid tumors. Shares jump. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Usually in things like leukemia, cancer, which leukemia is kind of a form of cancer, but stuff like that usually gets a bid. Wall Street likes that stuff. People like to throw their money to companies who are curing cancer. But lately, I don't know, FDA approval, I don't know. We'll see. So we'll just have to see what happens with it. And then there's IRNT. So now IRNT's big news came out on the 27th of August, I think. Yeah, 27th of August. On Friday, so this is the 27th. This is a headline that came out on the 27th. There's a blank, okay, so IRNT on Friday said that it closed its merger with blank check company LGL Systems Acquisition Corp. And so what these things are, they're just kind of like, I don't want to say exactly venture capital, but they're sort of like, the people who backed Facebook, the people who backed, I don't know, there are a whole bunch of different companies, like, what is that guy's name? I'm trying to think of his name. There was a guy, Peter Thiel, right? And so what he does is he pulls in these people with these sort of ideas and track records on businesses, and throws money behind it in order to get it marketed and so on and so on and so on. Well, so IRNT got that a little bit more than a week ago, and it's been since the 26th, popped up really high here on the 27th. So you can see it popped up pretty high here on the 27th to a high of 1841 per share. And it's been kind of making, in general, a move, from bottom left to top right, Today it's caught, for whatever reason, today, a few days later, I guess people were kind of waiting for the hype to die down before they got into it. But here it is today at $29.75. If it opened right now, this moment, up 77%. So it's on watch. Exactly how this thing behaves after the open, is kind of anybody's guess. I put a Fibonacci on it. I'm going to adjust this Fibonacci for the open here. We'll see, what the kind of natural support levels are, and see how this thing acts. So, I'd like to say that I have solid price levels on any one of these stocks for a trade. I guess if there's any one of them that I do, it would be Abcl, for a bounce at its high here. When it gaps up over a price, but then again, also Abcl could come all the way down, to 1789 too. I'm going to put an alarm on 1789 as well. All right. So now there are two alarms. I've got two alarms on Abcl here, right there. But yeah, so I don't really have any solid levels, that I'm looking at on any of these. Just kind of the Fibonacci support, a move back above a Fibonacci level, or a move back above an open is kind of what I have in all of these. Rnxt actually will be, I'm going to keep that on the 1 minute. That's going to be a momentum setup. One minute momentum setup is where I would be on that one. In fact, if I were going to play this pre-market, a break here above 1223 would be bullish right now. And then IRNT, same thing. And IRNT's timing is weird. It's weird that this thing suddenly pre-market on just a random day on the news that it had from over a week ago just decides to start now running up pre-market. I'm a little suspect of IRNT. Okay, everybody, so let's take a look at the broader market here, the SPY. If the SPY opened right now, it would open up 0.02% lower than its previous close. No big deal, pretty quiet, never short a quiet market. I did put on over the weekend, I was, I put on a put position on the S&P before I left the office on Friday. Just because, I don't know, things have been going really well for a really long time. I wouldn't be surprised to see, some kind of a crazy dip pullback out of the blue kind of thing for some kind of stupid news over the 3-day weekend. But it doesn't look like it turned out that way. So I'm probably going to ditch these put options that I have for a little bit of a loss, but it's okay. It's insurance in case something totally weird happened over the weekend. The VIX, so the VIX is still working on coming down, breaking below this support line right here, which actually, if I'm looking for it to go down below, then it's resistance, because it's the VIX, right? If the VIX goes as high as $18 or 18.21, it's not a dollar value here, then I'll be looking for a bounce off of that. So I'm going to put an alarm on the VIX. And I'll be looking for an opportunity to get long just in case it hits that. Bitcoin did a pretty neat thing here. It broke above on Friday, I believe. Yeah, it was Friday. It broke above and held this kind of recent high right here. And now today, It has come back and touched. So $50,562, right? And then now in today's action, it came down to a low of 50,516. So it broke, it hit this, what should be support level, and dropped below it by $50, but now people have jumped back on and have pushed the price of Bitcoin back above that by about $400 per Bitcoin. This is very bullish. This is just a very bullish move here. It broke out of, so here's the head and shoulders pattern that I had on Bitcoin back here. Let's see. Here it is right here. Textbook head and shoulders reversal right here into this day. Broke down below the neckline, found some support, snaked back and forth for a bit, and then broke back above the neckline for this little area right in here was a neutral. You didn't know if it was going to go up or down from here. You didn't know if it was going to, continue higher. After the break of this neckline, it was only neutral. But then after it broke 42,000, which is its high over here from, January of 2021, it's been off to the races. And now it's just making a new consecutive, new higher highs and higher lows ever since it broke above that 42,000 level. It's just been going, it's bullish. Where it goes from here, you got to see it break its all-time high. I mean, basically, after this point right here, after it got above 42,000, its next big test is over its all-time high there. And I don't know if that's I thought the all-time high was a little bit higher than 64,895. Yeah, I thought it was a little bit higher than that. Maybe it was an intraday and not I don't know. But anyway, the next target is this 64,895. I can't imagine it's doing too much of a stumble or having too much of a pullback from there. It's on its way. Okay, and so that's everything for today, everybody. That is my morning strategy session. Good luck out there. Keep your risk tight. Click like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, tap the bell, and I will see you at today's recap. I am out.